Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. So, today I want to do a brief video on the 12-day hustle that my team and I just went through over the past 12 days of June. And I want to go over how we can move forward in July from what we experienced in June. So, the first thing I want to talk about is finding your edge. What is an edge? An edge is something that you see in the market that happens every time that you see it. You know that you have a higher probability of winning that trade than not. So that's an edge. So that's what you want to find, is something that happens every time when you see this pattern, whether it's a pattern, whether it's an indicator, whether it's support and resistance. Every time that you see this happen, you know that you have a higher chance of winning. So if you are a trader that do not like indicators, it's fine. If you don't, that's fine. I'm going to show you both ways on how to win in the market, with and without. So if you want to use support and resistance, and even if you do use indicators, I still highly recommend you drawing your pre-market levels. So I use the horizontal ray, and this is a pre-market low here. So it touched here and it touched here twice. So that was a valid pre-market low. The pre-market high is here. And you can also go a little more to the left to see how these levels align with the previous day or any other levels that you think may be valid. So right here, we have a double top. So I would make that a valid level right here. And then this was the low of the day, the trading day. So I will make that a valid level. And I trade the QQQ, so this can be for any stock. And right now I'm on the 3-minute chart. So when the market opened and QQQ opened, it pulled back to resistance. So when the market opens, whether it's QQQ, SPY, or whatever you're trading, there's most of the time a pullback because you have people that have bought in the previous day. See here? And then when the market opened, they are taking profits. So the market will slightly pull back, and you may think that it's a sell off, or you may think that the market's about to fall, but in reality, people are just taking profits. And once they take their profits, the stock market or the stock or that ticker continues in the direction that it wants to go. So in this case, on Friday, I waited until it pulled back to this level, and I got in calls. I got in the 285 call. They were 56 cents, and I think we exited at like $1 up here. So it was like 78% return on our money. I didn't take this put here because I was a little bullish on QQQ. So I didn't take this put, but these puts were 9 cents here, and they ran to 51 cents here. So if you're really quick, you can go ahead and take your calls and be looking for puts at the rejection areas. So going on into the day, you could have scalped here and got out at this area that you've already pre-marked doing pre-market. And you see how the market or QQQ held its support. I would not have gotten into any kind of puts because it held its support very well. And this is just trading the support and resistance. That's not even trading with indicators. So I'm going to put on the indicators that I use for my edge. And what I found to work great for me, trading QQQ. And if you draw your fibs, that's fine. Because I still draw my fibs, but I do use the Fibonacci EMAs. They're 8, 13, 21, and 55. And this indicator is by Patrick Duke. I think I maybe have mentioned that one time before. And so my next indicator that I use, that I swear by, is the MACD. Moving average convergence divergence. And also the OR, because I like to trade the open range breakout as long as there is momentum. So I like the open high-low range breakout overlay. And I also like the orb 5-minute with pre-market. So if you have the premium, you actually can just add both of those. I'm going to add one for the purpose of this video. So here on Friday, we have the orb. It broke down below our previous low or our pre-market low, but it found support here. So you have to be very careful trading the orb, thinking that you need to be in a put and thinking it's going to continue down. Make sure you have your support levels so you know, okay, let me tighten up my stop loss or begin to scale out this position. And if you would have been watching your MACD, you would have saw that the MACD started to turn green. And this is the 3-minute chart. So for me, my edge is finding the MACD at a tight spot. So here, the MACD is at a tight spot. I want it to be tight and I want it to be close to the 0 line as possible. Like here, it's crossed, but it's not up here. It's not close. These lines are not close to the 0 line as I would like. However, I did scalp this position here because you see here, we have a tight MACD. So I did scalp this right here with a 78% return on my money. So going throughout the day, all of this was very boring. However, finding your edge, and when they say let your trade come to you, this is what they mean. You sit and you wait patiently until it continues to consolidate. It held support, so there was no reason to buy puts. It held support. Every time it pulled back, they bought. They bought here. They bought here. They bought here. Then the QQQ took off to the upside. So when you see a consistent level of support, and watch the MACD, if that's your choice of momentum indicator, you want to have one momentum indicator, whether it's the RSI, the RVSI, or whatever that you choose to use, the TTM squeeze. You need one momentum indicator. Even if you're just trading support and resistance, I still recommend having a momentum indicator on your chart. So right here, you see the MACD, it wasn't all the way below 0 down here. The MACD was getting closer and closer to the 0 line, indicating it's about to be a breakout. So right now I'm on the 3-minute chart. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you can see it much better. Support held. MACD kept getting tighter. And once we get this cross tight to the 0, and then once we see our EMAs get tight, they pop and there's a breakout. So in this case here, you can trade out of the money and get a lot return on your money. I think the calls at this point were, I think 17 cents, and they ran to like 109. So when they say wait and let the trade come to you, this is what they mean. Sit and wait until you see a breakout. Sit and wait until you see something that you know when this happens, you're about to make some money. And I'm going to go back a couple days. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to go back a couple days and show you. Even here, when QQQ opened and got rejected here at this level, It pulled back. Great opportunity to scalp puts. That was a great opportunity because we had our MACD red and down and selling pressure. But always be aware that the stock may not always continue to go down. Sometimes it may and sometimes it may not. So we can also add, if you have a paid account, there's an indicator called pivot point standard. If you don't want to draw your support and resistance, you can draw that. And you can see right here, the pivot point standard indicator, QQQ came directly to this and it turned around. So even if you don't wait for the cross up here, you can be confident in your support level right here. And you can be confident in this cross. The MACD has turned green. You have support here. And then you have your doji candle here signaling a reversal. So you have 1, 2 confluences to tell you, okay, we make and take calls here. And if you had have gotten calls here and then you had to went up here and did your take profit at your resistance levels. As long as you see those cross, you're good to enter. And it's a breakout and you can trade out of the money. The same thing here with these puts. When the stock got to resistance, it tried to come back up again one more time. It resisted again right there. Okay, come on, buddy. There we go. So we got 2 resistance. That's a double top. And then we want to check our MACD. Our MACD has crossed. And so we got 1, 2, 3 reasons to enter a put now. And we have our EMAs crossing over. So finding an edge is something that you know that happens that you will win more than lose. So right here on this day, June 29th, we just had chop. It stayed in between. If I turn all these indicators off, it stayed in between this range. So when the stock stays in between a range, I consider that to be no trade. Unless you buy at the money, okay, fine, take you a scalp here. But I don't trade at the money or in the money. I trade out the money. So this would not have benefited me to take a position that day. So that day I would have sat out the market because my edge did not appear to me. There was no breakout. Now here, if I was trading support and resistance only when the market opened, we were at resistance. We tried to get up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We got to find a reversal here with our dojis. That's 1, actually 2, resistance and the doji. And then the third indication would be when our MACD crossed down and it was red. We could have took puts here and rolled them down, scaled out along the way if you wanted to, or tighten your stop and just rolled it down until it found support and bounced. It found support here. It bounced a little bit, but it couldn't hold and it couldn't get further. So puts kept on printing. Any stock that you trade, you can trade one stock every day. Most stocks have a trend at least 3 days out of the week. So there may be 2 days you may not find a trend to trade. But that's okay because on the days that there's trending, you can just buy more contracts on the breakout and make more money to make up for those days. So this day here, you could have taken puts here at the open. And it found support here. Let's see, let me do our pre-market levels. Even though we have the pivots, if we do the pre-market levels and the previous day close levels, we can have a clear view. So this is the previous day close level here. So the market opened, pulled back to the previous day close, and it's just bounced all day. No trend. So my theory is no trend, no trade. The MACD is flat. If the MACD is not above zero like this, that's no momentum. This is no momentum. It's just flat. So this is where some traders are getting chipped up because they see green and they get in. They want to trade out the money cheap, but you can't because there's no breakout. Now on this day, June 24th, you could have traded the orb. If I turn my orb indicator on, you see perfectly. We got support and we have the orb, and then we also have the MACD that is super strong, showing very strong momentum. And I think this day, these contracts, I think I entered at 51 cents, and I think they went to like $2.45 or something. So finding an edge. If you have not found your edge in the market, I highly recommend you to take July to do a July hustle and find your edge. Find something that you are confident in. Find something that helps you know when you see this, you will win more than you will lose. Your probabilities will be higher if you take this trade versus taking this trade here that's going sideways. So I hope this video is helpful. In our group, we are not doing the 21-day hustle. We are going to execute everything that we learned and experienced from our 12-day hustle. And I will continue to update you on our results and how everyone has improved and what we're working on going forward. So I hope you all have a happy 4th of July, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.